I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. I see some of you are already on here now that I have finally figured out, or YouTube has finally allowed me to go live from a predetermined link. So that's been kind of awesome. And I have been loving that the last few weeks that it's actually been working. So thank you, YouTube. Um, It must be Thursday night, guys, because it's Barb here from Sheridan, Wyoming, barbstamps.com, and I am live, coming to you live from my stamp room in the basement. I guess it's also my office. Um, we are having some pretty nice weather the last couple days. It's been pretty hot, so we've actually had to start some fans upstairs. I don't really want to turn my air conditioning on, you know. You know you have to, but I don't want to just yet. So we're not going to do that. Oh, I almost forgot. I have to set my iPad up too because this silly thing. I was just getting ready. I was talking to my daughter, and she's going to look at a few more apartments this evening. And I told her that I was going live early tonight because my son's coming over with his dog. And he was supposed to come over last night because Wednesday was the day we've been doing this. But about Tuesday night at about 4 o'clock, it dawned on me, oh my gosh. I mean, and I knew that this Stampappy party was Wednesday, but it didn't, two and two didn't go together for me that they were going to clash, that my son coming over to eat dinner and me doing Stampappy party was going to clash together. So I had to quickly call him and say, well, I need to switch it to Thursday night. I said, I'll go live early because he gets off at 5. So I'd hate to have him just sitting up there for an hour and not having anything to do. And I want to talk to him when he's here. So he said yes, that would work. And so he's going to come over tonight. So yay. I'm just trying to get this iPad set up. And you know what? I tell you, Facebook is a little finicky thing. You start to type something in, like it's a group that you manage or a page that you manage, and you would think it would pop up immediately, like, oh, yeah, that's your group. That's what you're looking for. No, 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 no. It does other things. Nicole, not a problem that you missed the party. The link is still on the Stampappy Academy website. You can watch the replay, and you might want to watch the replay and leave us some comments because we have decided that we are going to mail out the cards that we create during the live to somebody who comments. So we just kind of randomly each choose a person through the commenting list, and we send our cards to those people. So you might want to go ahead and comment and get your name in the drawing. I think we were giving people through today to watch the video and leave a comment. So go ahead and do that. And what Nicole's talking about, in case you guys aren't aware, Dina Kelly and I have a website called Stampappy Academy. And on that website, we do a lot of different things. We have an online class every month. We have a PDF that subscribers get the PDF for free. Each of us do a live during the month, and we focus on like layouts, fun folds, color combos, using your designer series papers, things like that. So we each do a live. They're a couple hours each probably. And then we also do a Stampappy party every month on the second Wednesday of the month. And that is for anybody who's a Stampappy Academy subscriber, as well as anybody who purchases from our online stores. So if you purchase a $35 from my online store in the month of June, you will get an invitation to the July party, which is July 9th. And it happens at, 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 Eastern. And I see some of you gals that are on here are talking and commenting that the party was so much fun, and it really was. We had some technical difficulties. They were our own fault. We messed that all up. And so we finally got it to work. We had a fantastic time. We had a lot of fun. We had some jokes to be told. I mean, not jokes, but, like funny situations or whatever that we were sharing with the people that were on the live last night. And so it's so fun. Melanie's asking for the sunrise sailing class. Is this online YouTube video link? I wanted to order the two-tone card stuff. Oh, your thing went away, Melanie. Let me get it back here. You asked a question and oh, there it goes. Let's see. For the sunset, order the two-tone cardstock and the class, but let me add both of the card. Oh, that's because right now we use a website for the sunrise sailing class because we do it all together now. And so all of us, we have one link. We used to have more than one link for our online class. Like I'd have my link, Kelly would have a link, Dina would have a link. Now we just have a collective link that we all use. And so that is something that's not the same. It's not even the same service as my blog store. So you would have to do both things separately. If you want me to ship your items together, that's no problem. You can just send me an email and let me know I want my sunrise sailing class to go with my cardstock two-tone cardstock, and I can totally make that happen. If you don't care if they go together, the two-tone cardstock can go, and then the kit can go when it's ready to go. So yeah, that's why that's happening, because the Sunrise Sailing class is a completely different website than my blog, and they don't go together. So hopefully that explains that for you. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, our Stampappy party last night. It was so much fun. Yeah, like I said, we had some technical difficulties that were our own fault, but we figured it out and we made it work. Technology, you guys, I tell you, it is such a bear. You just never know when things are going to go wrong, and then you have to adapt. And sometimes it's very difficult to adapt because you get all frazzled and rah! Anyway, we made it work, and we had a fantastic time, and we each created a fantastic card. So we had 3 cards that we demonstrated last night. We use the same layout. We all use the same layout, but we all do different style because, of course, we all have a different style of stamping. So it's just a lot of fun, and I would love for you guys to join us next month. Again, if you're already a Stampappy subscriber, then you don't have to do anything. It's just a free thing for you. Oh, I don't care about the shipping, but yes. I'm sorry, Melanie. Yes. So we have 6 cards in the Sunrise Sailing class. Every card has a video that is attached to it. So I will send you a PDF file, and in that PDF file is the pictures of all the cards, the dimensions of everything you need, the directions are written out, plus there is a video link for every card. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm sorry, I saw your question and it went in my brain, and then it didn't come out of my mouth the way it should have. So that was my bad. Sorry about that. Oh, I see my downline Lori on here. Hello, Lori. She lives very close to me, just a couple hours away, so that's pretty cool. It's fun to see her. And what Melanie was talking about besides our Sunrise Sailing class was, if you guys were watching me last week, you knew that I did my full live was about two-tone cardstock. And I made a bunch of samples. And I made this beautiful sample where I dropped it in my ink pad after the card was done. Literally right in the ink pad. So, of course, I had to remake that. So... yay, here it is. So I'll show you those when I flip my camera. But I do have a two-tone cardstock share going on, and I was very surprised by the amount of people that actually want that. I thought maybe I'd have a few people that are interested, but a ton of people, so many people ordered it that I actually had to reorder my pack or the cardstock so I can make more kits for it. So the orders have shipped. They should be here hopefully sometime early next week. So if you've already ordered, some of you I was able to fulfill your order. Some of you I have contacted and told you that it was going to be a little time before I could get them out. But again, I ordered very quickly, and the stuff will be here, and then I will get everybody's orders. I ordered some extra so that when I do get this in and I get it all cut up, I will have some extra. So if you do want a share of two-tone cardstock, there is a link in the description of this video where you can get your own share of it. I have one package left that I'm calling the 2024 collection. When Stampin' Up! Started selling this, they started selling it in like multi-packs with multiple colors that kind of went along with a suite of products. And so I purchased all of those collections, and then I cut them up and I put them in these little packages so you get a lot of different a lot of different colors to try. So this is my 2024 collection. It was basically, it has, some Christmas from the Reindeer Memories. It has the Halloween, the autumn, and another Christmas packet. So I have one of these packets left. The other collection I'm calling 2025, and it has the collections of two-tone cardstock that came out in the spring, early January, February, March. So those I can still get. These I can't get anymore because some of them are discontinued and no longer available. So there you go. Okay, so I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, our lives are boring. Me and my husband, we just have boring lives. Knock hard on stuff so that you don't want anything. You don't want to jinx yourself and have something bad happen. But we don't, we go to work, we come home, we eat dinner, we watch TV, and we go to bed. That's our life. It is what it is. And then, of course, we do a few things here and there. But, for the most part, it's pretty boring. So anyways, Joanne said she just got hers. It was a great way to try it out. So yay, I am super excited that you got yours. That's pretty quick. I actually had a gal who lives in Wyoming. I sent hers out on, I think it was Monday, and she got it on Tuesday. That's some crazy shipping right there. Even it's in the same state, but typically things don't happen that fast. So I'm not sure the post office was on a roll, at least in Wyoming, or at least for that day. So I don't know. So let me flip my camera, and then we will get to some stamping so that I can be ready when my darling son shows up. Whoops, I got to fix my holder here. I had to adjust it last night because my phone was starting to overheat when we were streaming last night. And so I had to take it out of the case, and then I had to adjust my stand here. Okay, let me flip it so you can quit looking at my ceiling because that's boring. All right, so there is These are some of the projects that I'm talking about when I was saying how I did my live last week with two-tone cardstock. Oh, Holly likes my shirt. Thank you, Holly. It's a shirt I got at Target a long time ago. It's a little tight, so I don't know as though I would wear it, out by itself, but I'm in my stamp room. Nobody can really see me, so that's fine, right? Okay, so the whole thing last week was two-tone cardstock. So here are some of the projects that I shared. This is obviously using the arches dies. And so the skinny arch here is on the dark side of the two-tone cardstock. The full arch is the light side, but you can tell the contrast there, and it is so awesome. I love it so much. Oh, I've got Nina joining us also, who's on my team. So welcome. I love it when my team members come on here. This is another one that I think I made one of these last week. So you've got the dark side of the two-tone cardstock as the back layer, and then the light side I did some stamping on. So again, love the contrast of the light and the dark side. I love having the two tones of the same color. It's amazing. Here's another one I did where I kind of ripped it so that we could see the white core. So here's the dark pool party and the light side. In case you weren't here last week and you're not sure what two-tone cardstock is, it is a piece of cardstock that, let me grab some. Like this is strawberry slush. And so it is a piece of white cardstock, and then it is sent through a printing process where the darker shade of the color is put on one side, and then you flip it over, and the lighter shade is put on the other side. So that it still has a white core, but then you have the two shades of the same color, which really makes doing things like this super simple. Having the two shades of the same color, this is just amazing. And so we do sell every single color of Stampin' Up! Cardstock is sold by itself. And then sometimes we have some assorted packages, and that's what I have cut up and made my two-tone cardstock shares out of. And you get a little list telling you what the collection it came from, what the colors are, how many pieces of each color you get, all that good stuff. So here's another one. This is the one where I ran the two-tone cardstock through a folder, and then I used a sanding block to kind of sand off some of the color, leaving that white core. So that's pretty awesome. Another one doing the same thing. This was black where I did it. And then this one, here's the one I screwed up, where I just die cut these circles. This is cloud cover. And so I did the circles, I die cut the dark side, and then I put the dark onto the light. So again, you can see that two-tone color combo there is just amazing. I did the same thing with the flowers. This is the light side of the strawberry slush, and this is the dark side. So the contrast is really noticeable, and it's pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description of this video, and you can get some. All right. As you guys are probably aware, the 50% off, buy one, get one 50% off is still going on. The best way to do it, if you can afford to, is to place a few different orders. Like if you were looking for a couple of bundles, maybe put those on an order so you get your discount off the largest priced item. And then if you have like some designer series papers or some embellishments or ribbons or something like that, maybe put those on a different order because they're lesser price, so that when you get half off of one of those, it's a good deal. You wouldn't want to buy a bundle for $50 and then get half off of a $6 embellishment. You know what I'm saying? You'd rather order two bundles and get half off a $50 bundle. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about ordering. The Floral Impressions online class, I am getting my videos together for this. Here's a couple of the cards. This is the one that you may have seen before that I did for our catalog kickoff, but I changed the color on this. And then we've got this one here. I'm going to have a little bit of a twist on it in the class, but it's going to be basically the same. So you get 8 supplies to make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs. Of course, the link is in the description. And as Melanie was talking about earlier, we have our Sunrise Sailing class. It's a collaborative class that Dina Kelly and I do together. And we are still, of course, taking registrations for it. It's scheduled to ship out, I think not next week, but the week after. So you're going to need, of course, the bundle, and then we're going to supply the rest of the goods. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can order this. The link is in the description of the video, so you can get what's going to work best for you. We already talked about the Stampappy party. We had so much fun last night. I hope you guys can join us next time. Rewards when you order from my store. Any order in my online store, you can become a VIP and join my VIP Facebook group. All orders also receive my monthly tutorial PDF. This month, it is the celebratory sips. If your order is $35 or more, then you also get the invite to the Stampappy party and the celebratory sips PDF. $50 or more, you get the 2 things I already mentioned. Plus I have another PDF. It's called my global tutorial, and I'll send you that as well. So there you go. We talked a little bit about the virtual album retreat last week, and I did share everything that goes into the virtual album retreat. I got my box and I shared everything with you. Oh my gosh, you guys are ordering my two-tone cardstock. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. You're going to love it. Absolutely love it. If you are wondering what to do with it, be sure to check my live from last week because I kind of go into some pretty good detail about what you can do with it, how I store it and all that kind of stuff. So the virtual album retreat is coming up in July. The cost to attend the event is purchasing the virtual album retreat kit, which is $250. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but you get a ton of product in there, 4 stamp sets, some embellishments, some twine. Everything for each month is prepackaged in its own envelope or plastic Ziploc bag, so that when you're doing the projects, everything that you need is in the bag, except a few little other things that are collectively in the box. So it's going to be an amazing thing. My In Color Club, I'm still having people join this, and I wanted to let you know you can join this anytime. It's a 5-month commitment. The first month, you'll get, a color. The second month, you get another color, and so on. And you get the ink pad, the marker, Stampin' Blends are optional. You get some ribbon, some cardstock, designer series paper, two-tone cardstock, ink refill, and some gems. So you get all that stuff. And you can join at any time. So I invoice around the middle of the month, get the supplies out a few days after that, as soon as your invoice is paid. And it's just a great way to collect all of our brand new ink colors if you're on a budget. The only thing that I have to say is the cloud cover ink pad obviously is not available, so you can substitute that for any color you want. And I will give you a blank spot so you can fill up your own with cloud cover if that's what you want to do. Like I have done here, I've just added the ink refill to the spot, and so I have a little spot. All right, and finally, we talked about Stampappy Academy, and we talked about everything you get. We also are doing a quarterly bingo in Stampappy Academy, and I think we're doing the next one in July. So stay tuned for that. We haven't worked at all the details, but we will. You guys know we will. We will work everything out. Okay. So for my live today, I was very much inspired by this t-shirt that I received from Stampin' Up! While I was on the incentive trip. Disclaimer, mandatory, less than 1% of demonstrators earn this trip. There we go. And I was wearing it last night for our Stampappy party. And as I was brushing my teeth, I was looking at it and I thought, you know what? This is a really great color combo. You've got like Lost Lagoon is like the main shirt color. We've got some potentially flirty flamingo here with these flowers and this hat. And then I thought this looked like lemon lime twist. And so we're doing a color combo today, you guys. And it was inspired by my Orlando t-shirt. So the first stuff that I wanted to share or use is the Boho Vibes collection, which includes the Sunshine Vibes bundle, dies and stamps. All of a sudden I was looking at something else and my mind just turned off. Does your mind ever just turn off like that? Like you're talking or you're doing something and then it just shuts off. It's like, what is going on? Why are you shutting off on me? I don't know. But this collection also has some designer series paper, and I'm trying to find it because I know that I have it because I ordered it. Aha, here we go. Now, I'm not using this paper because obviously I'm doing this with my color combo, but there is paper that comes with this suite also, and it's pretty fun. And I was kind of concerned about the color combo being a little bit more muted, but I really do like it. So you can get the paper, and then the suite also uses these little flower motifs, flower accents that are really cute, and they are really shiny, really gold. So we're using the stamps and dies for one of the cards today. And so what I have done is I have die cut some of the rainbows. So in the die set, we have a large rainbow here that will give you one, I think it's 5. You get 5 individual rainbow. What do you call those? Rainbows? What do you call like each color of the rainbow? I guess color of the rainbow. You can also die cut the whole thing. Like if you crop all these out and you have an opening in your cardstock, then you can, well, actually, let me grab one. So you could then die cut around your arches. Thank you so much. Arches, good grief. So, like I said, my brain just turned off. It's super annoying. Or you could just die cut this whole thing if you wanted to. I didn't do that yet. I did mostly this, and then I added, there's a few other arches that have like some detail to them. So like this little tiny one has a bunch of hearts in it, which is super cute. I put it on my hand, you'll be able to see. This next one has like slots, I guess, kind of put into it. And then the smallest one just has a bunch of holes, like circular holes. So you can do those also. And then it does have a few other things. We've got these little foliage pieces, and we've got this little decorative arch also that's kind of squiggly lines. We have some like stars or starburst items, and then some hearts. Okay. So those are your Sunshine Vibes dies. And then the stamp set is a photopolymer stamp set. And you have like a half sun where you can put the sun's rays around it. This little, maybe a moon, a little star kind of thing. Some just kind of fabulous phrases, a leafy piece, a little background stamp, and then these little dashed lines that you could make a background of. But for my card today, all I'm doing is using the, here they are, the rainbow arches. And then I have a label. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to put these arches on my piece of cardstock, but I wanted to make sure that they were kind of level with each other. So I drew a very light pencil line. Can you see my pencil line there? Across there, so that when I'm adding my arches, that they're going to be not going to go past the line, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I am going to get some glue out here, and I'm going to kind of be careful because I don't want my glue to squirt through the holes. Now, and I always say this, but it's true. If I was smart, I would have used an adhesive sheet on this so that I wouldn't have to go through this fussiness of adding my glue so delicately. But as you can see, when you're working with liquid glue, less is definitely more. You do not need a whole bunch of glue for it to stick. So you can see that I just kind of used some dots and a very thin bead. And then I'm just going to try to center this and get it on my line. There we go. And then this one is just a solid piece. This one does not have a detailed die for this size. So again, we're just going to add it here by the line. There we go. And then this one is a little bit detailed. This is the one that has kind of the little slits or slots, I guess. Slits is probably the more appropriate term. And we're going to add this one. Oh my. Do not start flying around here, you silly rainbow arches. I can see I have some glue up there that I will have to take care of. All right, and then this one is another one that is just plain. And so we'll add that one inside. Trying to get it. Sometimes I have to be quiet so I can think, right? Now this one's going to be a little more tricky. So I think what I'm going to do is, as I'm adding glue to it, I'm going to pull in a silicone mat, and I am going to tap it onto my silicone mat to try to get all of the glue out of my little holes there. And then we're just going to add this right there. Okay, so then I can bring in my pencil and I can use my eraser and I can get rid of all of this, all of these lines. At least I hope I can. Yeah, it's working pretty good. Oops. And in the end, I'm going to blow all that off. So there is my fun rainbow. So then I decided to layer this onto a color. So I chose my next layer based on, like, I only have one Flirty Flamingo arch on this card. So that's why I chose this to be a Flirty Flamingo base. So I guess I need to tell you the dimensions of these things, don't I? Let me measure it just to make sure, because I did make a few cards using this same color combo. And let's get the ruler in here. So my white layer is 3 3/4 by 5. My Flirty Flamingo layer is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then we're going to put that on a Pretty Peacock base because Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock, they go together pretty well. But before I did that, I wanted to add some ribbon. So I've got this Pretty Peacock metallic ribbon. It is on the last chance list. It is discounted. It started out being $8.50. It is now $5.10. So I am going to wrap this around my cardstock, but as many of you are aware, I don't tie ribbons around cardstock very often because I stink at it. So I like to wrap my ribbons around something else and then cut it and tape it to the back of my card. So it looks like I wrapped it around there, but I did not. I will if I have to, but I prefer not to. So this is what I like to do. I like to take it and do it like that, and then I would cut it, and then I would take my two ends and I would wrap them around my card, and then I would tape the ends to the back, because that is the way you do it when you can't tie nice ribbons and knots and bows around cardstock, and I cannot. Oh, Melanie wants the colors again. Absolutely. So it's Lost Lagoon, Lemon Lime Twist, and Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm using a Pretty Peacock base because, Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock, it's like the best combination there is. And you can throw a lot of different colors with those two and make a fantastic project. So then I'm going to add this to my card base with some dimensionals. And we always go with 5. Because we do not want our card to sag in the middle. Also, thank you guys for joining me early tonight. I realize that I'm an hour earlier than I normally am. But like I said, it just couldn't be helped because my son's coming over and I don't get to see him very often. So right now it's been like once a week. Before that, it wasn't even that often. Because he's just a busy young person, and I get it. When I was young, I was a busy young person too. But I did used to have dinner with my mother like once a week. We would go out to eat once a week. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get him to do, is to come over here once a week and have food. I figure, he's a young boy. I should say young man. So maybe the way to his heart is through his stomach, right? Isn't that what they say? Okay, so then we've got that. I also die cut a bunch of these little starburst pieces out of the colors, and so I want to throw some on here. So I kind of was thinking maybe something like put a Flirty Flamingo there, and maybe I'm looking for a small lemon lime twist. Here we go. A small lemon lime twist, and maybe a large Lost Lagoon. Is this a large one? Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I can't really tell. I thought maybe I'd do something like that. Oh, you know what? I just screwed this whole card up. Hold on. We're going to start over. Well, not start over, but we're not putting it on this card base like this, because what I wanted to do with this... Oh, you know what? I might have to add another layer here. Yeah, I think we will. Hold on. We're going to make it work the way I wanted to. I wanted to make it be an easel card, and I totally forgot that. So we're going to start over with a different card base. Okay, so here's my card base now. So then I have this, but I need to put another layer on this because we don't want to see this stuff behind when we have the card open. It'll make sense once I do it correctly. All right, so let me get that stuff off. Okay, so we're going to pull in a lemon lime twist layer. And let's see, I think I said my Flirty Flamingo was 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we're going to go 4. Yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. And then we should have, that should be the proper dimensions to make this work. Because we want to have to hide where I tied the ribbon and taped it to the back, because we can't have that showing on our card. That would be terrible. So where's my glue? Yes, I love this color combo too. That's what happens when you're like brushing your teeth and zoning out on your t-shirt. And then you think, oh my gosh, this is a fantastic little color combo. It's fun, it's bright, it's cheery, it's springy, it's happy, all of that stuff. Okay, card base. What I want to do with it is I want to fold this in, and then we can make an easel card out of it. There we go. So now all I have to do is just add this to the top layer, and I can do that with dimensionals just as long as I don't go past the fold line. Here we go again. Okay, so we are going to do that. And we'll stick one in the middle. Okay. Get all those dimensionals off. And then we can add this like so. And then when we open it, oh my gosh, can I screw this up anymore? You guys, what a dingbat. Who is running this show? Somebody who really does not know what they're doing. That is the, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm telling you, this, why is this happening? Okay, we need to get this off here. That, wow. Okay, where's my adhesive eraser? We're going to be nicer about it this time. Because I have to put it on the bottom, not the top. Which isn't a big deal because I can get another. Oh my gosh, this whole card has just been, I just don't know. Some days are better than others. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, you know what? We got to do something different here. We need to make this layer again because I screwed this all up and I have... Wow, if nothing else, when you guys watch Barb, you will learn how to fix mistakes you never even knew were possible. I'm telling you. Because I literally make mistakes constantly. More so when I'm live than when I'm not live, but making mistakes nonetheless. Okay. I mean, I was half right. Ooh, there goes my paper trimmer onto the floor. Well, you know, hopefully we don't need it again. It's possible it's broken. Oh. It can probably be fixed. Okay. Then I'm going to get another Pretty Peacock card base because we are making this card and it is going to work. There is no doubt in my mind that it is going to work and it's going to be fantastic. So, I will fix these other card bases later. Okay, so we have a card base again, 8.5 by 5.5. Everyone knows that. Now we're going to tuck this under, push it up against the fold, and burnish it. There we go. Now we are going to attach it to the bottom because that is what we need to do. We needed to do this. Wow. Okay. And you know what? Maybe I won't use dimensionals. Maybe I'll just use glue. Maybe that's the deal. Maybe it's an omen that you're not supposed to use dimensionals right now. Okay, I won't. All right, we're gluing it to the bottom. So then, when it opens up, it will be an easel card once we fix the middle. Wow, okay. Now, we can add our little starburst thingies. If we can get the glue to come out, we will be able to add our starburst thingies. Oh my goodness. Well, we always have additional glue waiting around. Is it going to come out? There it is right there. Okay. Do a little dot there, a little dot there. Again, I wanted the Flirty Flamingo one over here. And I'm not trying to have them be like perfectly, centered and going the same direction or anything. I want it to be a little more random. Okay, so we have that. Then I have a little banner that came out of the Unbounded Love die set. And in the boho or sunshine vibes set, there is the word that says hello. Here it is right here. And we are going to stamp hello in Flirty Flamingo onto this label. And then I have a little surprise. All right, so there is hello. I thought it would be kind of cool if the hello had an exclamation point after it. Well, I found an exclamation point. This is one of the 2 of the stamp sets that come in the virtual album retreat kit. They don't come in a plastic case. I had to supply the plastic case myself, but they do give you the insert and then both of the stamp sets. Okay, so there's an exclamation point in here, and I'm going to use it to make my hello be like hello. So I'm going to ink this up. I don't want it to be the full height because it's a little taller than my word. So I inked it on the edge of my pad so that I can just get a partial, like it's not quite as tall as it normally would be. So now I can say hello, like I'm super excited about it. Okay. And then I'm going to tuck it in here next to my ribbon. So I'm just going to grab my glue and add some glue to the back of it. And again, tuck it right up to the knot. And then press it down. Leave that. So then we have our inside layer. And our inside layer, we're going to get a label. And I think we're going to use this label here. And the name of it escapes me. Designer label? No. What is that called? Does anybody know? Hexagon. Hexagon label, I think is what it is, right? Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I do want to stamp a little something on this. So, like I mentioned, there is that kind of half sun image in the set. And I'm going to ink that up in some lemon lime twist. And I'm going to stamp it kind of right here at the bottom of the label, trying to center it as best I can. I think that's centered. And then we have the sun rays, I guess. And so we're going to do half of them and then the other half. Something like that. And that is going to be our little bumper piece that's going to be on the inside of our card. So let me go ahead and add this to the inside. I think this is a 4 by 5 1/4. I guess we're going to find out, right? It is. Look at that. Yay. Okay. And then, okay, and I also have a sentiment that I want to stamp on this. It says sending good vibes, and I want to do that in some Flirty Flamingo. And I want to stamp that right over my little sun here. And then I'm going to add this to the inside of the card with dimensionals, because that's going to be the bumper then that's going to keep my card open if the person wants to keep it open while it's on their desk. Okay, Nancy is laughing. I don't blame you, Nancy. I'd be laughing my head off. All right, so we're going to set that in there. And then we have our fun easel card. How cute is that? Oh, these colors just make me so happy. So very happy. Okay. I think I have combined my boxes of stuff together and I've kind of made a mess. Okay. So as most of you know, I don't like a mess. So I'm going to put all this stuff off to the side so that you don't have to see the mess. Only I have to see the mess. And then I'm going to share you, I have 2 other cards that I did, because when I die cut the rainbow, as you know, you get 5 pieces out of it, right? So I kind of thought, let's just make 3 different cards. So here are the other 2. So I used, you know, the large rainbow of each color first, and then I just kind of went down the line there. This one I did a little differently, where I added the hello up here at the top and then did add that. Now I didn't put any embellishments on here. I could. I don't know as though it's necessary, honestly. You know, sometimes you don't have to always put an embellishment on something. My ribbon was a little jacked up there, but I thought those were super cute. So then now these cards, like this, I glued, oh no, this one, the one I just made, I glued each of the rainbow arches onto the card individually. These, both of these, I die cut the rainbows themselves, and then I die cut that exact same die out of my layer of white. So it was like this, but it was white. And then I just flipped it upside down and I added all of the rainbow pieces. Let's see. I don't think I have, well, I can't do it exactly like I did it because I don't have the right number of pieces, but you can see that all these will just fit right in there. They fit like they're supposed to. Is this upside down? Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, so I laid them all in there and then I kind of taped them to the layer, to the white layer. So they're just inlaid in there. So they aren't bumpy, whereas these are kind of bumpy because they're raised above the cardstock. These are not. They're inset into the actual card. So it looks really cool. So that's what these two are, where I just kind of inlaid them in there. But I just thought they were really cute. And I didn't do the insides on the other ones, but I obviously I'm not going to do this. This was an afterthought after I had these done. I thought, oh, we could make an easel card out of that. Anyway, I hope you guys like those. Let me set that over to the side. Ooh, Tracy's going to case them. Yay! I love it when you guys case my stuff. That's awesome. Okay, now we're going to move on to kind of a different vibe of product, and we're going to be using the Inspiring Imperfections bundle. This also has paper that comes with it, or you can get paper with it. And the paper is called the Kintsugi Inspirations. And so, according to Stampin' Up! And in the catalog, on the Kintsugi Inspirations suite pages, it tells us, like it says, what's kintsugi? I did not know what it was. It tells us, it says kintsugi is a traditional Japanese technique of repairing broken pottery with gold lacquer. The mended gold veins become a celebration of imperfection instead of hiding it. I did not know that, and that is actually pretty awesome. So we're using the Inspiring or Imperfections stamp set and dies, but I'm not using the Kintsugi Inspirations paper. I'm using my color combo. So we are going to get some pieces and parts of paper out here. And I threw something on the floor, but it wasn't anything I need. Okay, so to start out with, I have a card base that is 8.5 by 5.5. Okay. Oh, Janice is wondering where Trish got her two-tone cardstock. Janice, there's a link in the description of this video where you can buy it. So let me check something really quickly. I'm wondering if it's going to sell out. So I'm going to go ahead and add more to the order so that it won't sell out. So give me just a second here. And I will get that done. Oh, it says out of stock. Okay, it's not out of stock. I'm going to fix that right now. Oh, sorry, you guys. Just give me a second here. Okay, there. It should be all fixed now. It should be all fixed. Okay, so this is 8.5 by 5.5. I have scored it. I put it into my trimmer. I scored it at 3, 6, and 7.25. So we're going to do another kind of little fun fold. Then you're going to kind of fold it up like this. Okay. Then we also have another piece. These are pretty peacock again. I have another piece that was 3 by 4.25. No, that's a lie. It's 3 by 8.5. And we're going to fold it in half so that it is then 3 by 4.25. Okay. So then we have two other pieces. We have a piece of Flirty Flamingo, and this measures 2 3/4 by 4. A layer of white that is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. So it's going to layer right on this layer really nicely. Another piece that's kind of for the inside. This is 2 3/4 by 4. And then I have brought in some designer series paper. This is from the Subtles 6x6 collection. And I have 3 pieces here. These are each 1 inch. They're all 1 inch wide. These two are 2 3/4 long. This one is 5.25 long. Okay. Easy peasy there. And then I do need to do some stamping. So I'm going to do both of these vases or vases if you're fancy. I'm not really fancy, but I feel like I've heard that term vase, like, watching somebody fancy talking. So I'm pretending that I'm fancy for a minute here. So we're going to stamp the large one, and we're going to, oh, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the little bowl. And then we have a little bowl here that we're going to stamp. There we go. Nancy said, I had a tea set from Nippon that was her grandmother's and it was repaired the same way. That is awesome. I would love to see like a piece that was really, you know what I mean? That was really done. Not like, where a company will just make a bowl and pretend that it's been done, but that it was actually done. I think that would be super cool. Okay, so we're going to color these. And we're going to use the same colors that we've been using on everything. So I've got a dark lemon lime twist, and I'm going to get the leaves. All the leaves are going to be lemon lime twist. This is some leaves here. And then we're going to do our little flowers are going to be, am I even in the frame? Yes. Flirty Flamingo. And then we're going to do some other things with our Pretty Peacock and the Lost Lagoon. So let me get the leaves done here. And I've got the dark Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to do the flowers. I'm kind of rushing through this because I don't know. I don't know if people like watching me color. I don't know. I always feel like when I'm coloring that it should be sped up. But maybe people like it. I don't know. And I've said that before. I'm wondering if people like it or don't like it. And I think most of you guys say you do, but there's this weird thing in my brain that says when you're coloring, you need to hurry. And I should stop doing that. Okay. I'm just checking my pieces because I've already got them done to make sure I get everything that I need to get. Yes. Except I do need to bring it back in the lemon lime twist for this. Oh, I don't know if I ever answered Janice's question when she asked Patricia where she got the cardstock. There's a link in the description of this video where you can buy it from me. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, then we're going to use a light Pretty Peacock. Is this light? Yes. And I'm going to kind of do these little swirls a little bit. Just ever so slightly. And I think I did the top of this bowl and the bottom of the bowl. Okay. And I think I missed some, I'm going to say they're flowers. Maybe they're not, but I need some pink down there. So we're going to say that it is. And then I've got a light Lost Lagoon, and I'm just going to kind of fill in all the empty space now with my light lagoon. And maybe that's why I feel like I need to hurry, because this part would be super boring. Oh, I see a leaf I just missed. But I think you guys kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. So that my vase is completely colored. There's no white space in my vase. I'm trying to remember. I was talking about it last night in our Stampappy party, the word vase. And I was trying to remember where did I hear that? I feel like it was a movie or something that I must have been watching. And somebody on the movie was, maybe a wealthier person that had, a lot of things and we're referring to it as a vase. I don't remember. Okay, anyways, we're doing the same thing on the bowl, doing all the extra space here. We're going to do it with a light Lost Lagoon marker. And as I said, I think I found a little spot on this one too that I kind of forgot to get. So I need to bring this back in and get this little leafy thing here and this little leafy thing here. Finally, we're going to bring in the dark Lost Lagoon, and we're going to do like the inside of either of these things. Okay, so here are my two pieces. I'll bring them up so you can look at them. See how I've done that there. Kind of fun. I did die cut them. There is a die for each one in the set. So you have the bowl and the vase. And on the bowl, I kind of cut along the line here of the bowl because I want to stick something so it looks like it's in the bowl. And so what I did was there's this little die in the die set that cuts out this kind of florally piece. I don't know what you call it. Maybe it's some kind of Japanese flowers. I don't know what they are. I have no idea. And I wanted them to look like they were kind of in the bowl. So that's why I did that with the bowl. And so what I'm going to do now is me and my best friend Tape are going to tape that down. Hold on, I have a piece of tape in my mouth. Gross. I need a tiny little piece so that I can come back here. There we go. So now it's going to kind of look like these flowers are coming out of the bowl, right? At least that was what I'm hoping that's what it looks like. So on our little white layer here, I'm going to stamp the phrase thank you. Now, thank you is not in the Inspiring Imperfections stamp set, but there is a really nice thank you sentiment in the tags of thanks. I believe this is an online exclusive product. It was bundled with 3 little punches that are not available right now, but they will be back. And so I really liked the fonts on this stamp set. That's basically why I bought it, because I really liked the fonts. And so I have the word thank you here, and we are going to stamp that in some pretty peacock. Lotus, maybe. Lotus, it could be. I have no idea. I just don't know all the things, you know? All right, so we're stamping it up in the corner, trying to make sure that it's straight. Is that the right color? Yes. That seems awfully dark, doesn't it? And maybe it'll dry. It should be fine. Okay, and then we're going to put our balls and our bowl on here. So I'm going to glue the bowl or the vase down. I feel like this glue is almost empty, and so it's giving me the fits. There we go. I had to give it a shake. All right, so we'll add that, and then I'm going to do this with some dimensionals, I think. So we'll put that, well, I can do 2. I don't think I can really get away with putting a dimensional behind my flowers because there isn't any space. And I'll drop this bowl down just a skosh. There we go. Pretty, pretty. And then I'm going to add this to my layer of Flirty Flamingo. And then we're just about ready to start putting the whole card together. I guess I can go ahead and do this. This is going to go on the front of our 3 by 8.5 inch piece that we went ahead and folded in half. So we're going to have a nice border around everything here. Okay. So we can go ahead and add our Designer Series paper strips. So one of them is going to go right here in this area. So I'm trying to, you know, make sure that we have equal distance at the top and along the side. And we'll do another one here. Same thing, we'll put it on this side, do the same, the top and the side. We're looking to have some equal spacing there. Okay. And then this piece we're going to put on the bottom. And I kind of thought about using the flowers, but then it seemed like it was too busy. You know what I mean? Like there was too much pattern if I ended up using the flowers. So I opted to use the backside, which is kind of just some fun splatter. All right, and then we're going to attach this to the card. So we're going to attach it to the back and just right here on the front. So I'm just going to kind of gauge where I can put the glue by holding it with my hand. And I'm going to center this on the back side here. Trying to anyway. Scoot it. I think that's centered. Okay. And then we'll come to the front, and then we're going to glue it to the front. So we just have that little section there that it's going to stick down to, like so. And then we have this kind of step card. It's an easy step card, though. There's none of that kind of cutting in here and cutting from the score line to this edge. It's just, it makes it super simple. And then you can kind of see what it looks like if you hold it like that. And then for that inside piece of white that we talked about, that's right here, I am going to stamp this little flower onto it. And I'm going to do that in my memento, if I can find it again. literally just, oh, here it is. I was going to say, I literally just had it. How does stuff just disappear? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we're going to stamp this flower that comes in the set. And I think last night when we were talking, Dina said she thought it was a chrysanthemum. So we're going to go with that. I don't know what it is. And I'm also looking for a different sentiment here. I want the "You Made My Whole Day." Here we go. Need a block. So we will get that on there. And I'm going to color this. Again, using the same colors. So we'll do some Flirty Flamingo on the petals here. And then we'll do the leaves in the Lemon Lime Twist. And then we'll stamp our sentiment in the Lost Lagoon. Okay. And some Lost Lagoon. We'll get the sentiment here. Then there's still a little space for you to write a note if you wanted to write a little note. What are the clover flowers called? I have no idea. No idea, you guys. I was hoping one of you guys would know. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Look what I did. Good Lord. How can everything just go to pot, as my mother would say? I'm going to try to use my adhesive or my eraser to get rid of that. If I can't, well, you know what? It's a handmade card by a person who's a heavy-handed stamper sometimes. Well, while that's drying, I'm going to close up my ink pad so that I don't have a disaster like I did last week where I dumped my whole card into it. Does anybody know where I put those little gold flower accent things? Like literally, where are they? I showed them at the beginning of this card. They should be here somewhere, but yet they are not. Oh, I just found them. Because I wanted to do some accents on the front here with these fun little things. These are very lightweight. They are not like real metal. We do have some embellishments that are kind of a real metal that are pretty heavy, but these are very light. And I just think they're super cute. And they are very, very gold. Very, very shiny. And I think ooh, it looks like I have a little spot right there of ink. Look what I can do with that. I can just cover that right up. All right, here we go. To try to get rid of this little blob of ink. Now, when I use a ink eraser, I kind of do a little bit at a time. And sometimes I even try to go a different direction if I need to, just to try to get all that off. And that is not even working. So we are just going to go with it. And am I going to go with it? No, I can't. I can't do it. We got to cut another piece of paper. I think here's my trimmer. It fell on the floor and everything fell apart. But I think we're good. I think it's not broken. It just fell apart. Hopefully. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Okay. So we said 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And we can very quickly stamp our flower again, if I can find it, and stamp our sentiment. And this time we'll try not to be so heavy-handed with the ink and make such a mess. Okay, there's that. And now we need the Lost Lagoon back. And my sentiment is right here. I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to try to be a little more careful about inking it. And we'll see if we can do a better job this time. There. Yay. That is a better job. And now we can color everything again. Thankfully, it doesn't take that long to color this. I'm going to have to try to find out what those little die-cut flowers are, because I don't know. I have no idea what they are. All right. So if you guys tried to order some of the two-tone cardstock and it told you it was out of stock, the 2025 option is what I'm talking about. The 2024 option, I only had one left. That could definitely be gone. But if you tried to order the 2025 option and it came up that it wasn't available, try again, because I just added some more to the store, because I can get more, no problem. And I do have some coming, some extra. So we should be good there. All right. There. I'm much happier with that now that I fixed it. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and that's my card. Okay, good. Thank you for saying something, because sometimes I don't realize, what's going on. And anyway, so here is my center step card. Fun, fun, fun. Just a different kind of way to use, I think, lots of the Kintsugi inspirations cards that you've seen probably have the paper with them, which the paper is gorgeous, but I just thought it would be kind of fun to throw that in with my little color combo that I came up with off my shirt. So here are the cards that we shared today. So thank you guys for coming on early with me. I appreciate that so much. My son should be here in about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm super excited. And I will see all of you guys next week. So thank you so much. Have a great week. If you need anything Stampin' Up! Wise, I would love to be your demonstrator. Just throwing that out there. And I do have a lot of retired items in my blog store that I've updated that, so you could check those out. And then, of course, I have lots of classes and class kits also on my blog store. So I will see you guys back here next week. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye, guys.